the next few weeks are going to be all about, let's call it financial engineering, and helping these institutions to get through their investment committees, their credit committees, their boards, in order for us to get to final investment decision and then start construction, because the site is now ready to build and the contractors are ready to go.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by ATOME CEO Olivier Mussat. Olivier, very good to speak with you. Could you give us a summary of the Vieta project and explain the significance of this announcement?
Absolutely happy to, Stephen. So Vieta is the first industrial scale, fully dedicated green fertilizer project. So based from renewable power, green hydrogen, then ammonia, and then fertilizer. So all in one, a full facility dedicated to producing 260,000 tons of what we call calcium ammonium nitrate. It's a regular fertilizer. It just happens to be low carbon in a market which pays already a premium for regular fertilizer. So it's quite significant from a sector's point of view. As I say, it's the first dedicated, fully renewable facility, but also it's a first on a Latin American point of view, which is the largest fertilizer import market in the world. So indeed, there's quite a lot of significance going on and a lot of progress made over the past few months.
What details can you give us on the offtake itself that makes it such an important agreement for the project and its investors?
So to give you a sense, when we look at the low carbon chemicals projects worldwide, the offtake is the most important bit. So offtake means who is going to buy your product, at what price, and for how long, because that determines the bankability of your project. So, we've partnered with Yara, which is one of the largest fertilizer company in the world. To give you a sense, in Latin America alone, they sell more than 6 million tons a year of fertilizer. So 260,000 tons a year, it's not huge, but it's significant, right? And it's significant in a premium market. And what obviously Yara is providing is guaranteed that they will buy all of our production before the facility is even built, for basically 10 years with an option to renew, which makes the project, financing from easy on a project finance point of view. And we have some downside protection elements within this, which, obviously, we've sized the project in a certain way. We have returns expectations, which are what they are. And basically, Yara is there. I will take all of the product for X amount of years, so obviously 10 years plus, at certain prices, with obviously formulas that incentivize both them and us to be as efficient as we can to provide the highest return to our shareholders.
How important is Yara as a partner, and why do you think Yara was prepared to sign a take-or-pay offtake for 100% of your green fertilizer production from Vieta? What was driving their interest?
So I think the interest is, number one, we are totally aligned in that, if we think that sustainability and basically profitability have to go hand in hand, right? And so from an alignment point of view, we saw that we had the same ethos. And they had been pushing extremely hard with companies including like PepsiCo, I mean, it's in their press releases, both in Europe and in Latin America, to provide with low carbon fertilizer. So from their point of view, it's a guaranteed of supply of low carbon fertilizer to their end customer on a long-term basis. I think from a wider strategic perspective, it's the first of many, hopefully, projects that we will do. There's also clearly a long-term relationship angle. I mean, we announced the heads of term over 12 months ago, right? So obviously, you don't exactly pen these things very easily. It takes a while to align project details, offtake, all of the logistic and all of the mechanisms on how we work an offtake agreement and make it fit with a project. But it's very much making sure that every single entity within ATOME and within Yara are totally aligned, again, to maximize the profits that the project can make, but also making sure that we have sustainably long-term clients so that we can grow and take advantage of green premiums when they come.
What should we be looking for as the next milestones for ATOME, Olivier?
I think the important thing is to remember what happened over the past 3 years, right? So we've obviously got the power purchase agreement set in stone. We have now obviously bought the land. We have done the environment and social impact assessment. We have negotiated the EPC contract with Casale, fixing the price. Now the offtake contract with Yara, making sure that we know what is going to be the revenue generation. And on the equity side, we announced High24 as leading the equity pack. And on the debt side, IDB, FMO, the European Investment Bank, and IFC working together into putting the project finance side. So the next few weeks are going to be all about, let's call it financial engineering, and helping these institutions to get through their investment committees, their credit committees, their boards, in order for us to get to final investment decision and then start construction, because the site is now ready to build and the contractors are ready to go.
Olivier, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated on your progress. Thank you very much for taking the time today.
We certainly will.
Olivier Mussat, the CEO of ATOME.